Imagine a world where everybody with a good idea can start a company, no matter where you live or who you know. Where users can become owners and global expansion happens at the click of a button. Some may be saying this sounds like BS, right? But others, they know what I'm talking about. So for the haters, the doubters, the Debbie Downers, this world is a lot closer than it seems. I'm Murph from All Caps Capital, where we be teaching startup and VC game for those that are trying to break into the space. Just like Ak and I are, we are not the go-to people, but there's nothing more fun to me or anything I'd like to rather do than learning this amazing and groundbreaking space than with a community where we're all learning together. But today, normally we be talking shop with people that know their stuff. Today I'm doing a little solo pod. I want to do this solo pod on the revolutionary space of crypto startups. Why am I doing that? I don't know anything about Web3. I actually just got denied from a job I applied to for an emerging crypto startup. Got some good feedback though. But I had a friend come up to me recently. Sorry, side tangent, god damn it. I had a friend come up to me recently, asked for my thoughts about a crypto startup that he wants to start. I'm not even gonna tell you the idea, but I like the idea. But I had to warn him. I had to warn him that, dude, building a startup already is hard. You wanna enter ever-changing, legally restricting space of crypto startups. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. But it's also gonna be stupid exciting. So let me explain. But before I explain, I wanna go over the timeline of Web 2, the internet, and Web 3 to where we are right now. All right, so it's 1995. And the internet is just taking off. .com startups are popping up everywhere, and they all already the talk of the town. But fast forward to where we are right now, today, and we're kind of standing at a similar precipice to what was happening back then. Well, hold up, and let me just geek out for a second, because I love this stuff. It's so cool. Crypto startups are not just changing the game, they're making a new playing field. And it's awesome because we can all be a part of it. Even if we got no freaking experience, it opens up the field to everybody. But before I get too excited and just start yapping away, let me break this down and let me try to explain to you guys why you should be excited about crypto startups and why should you even care. So picture this. You've got a world-changing idea. Oh my gosh, it's gonna blow everybody's freaking socks off. And don't let anybody tell you any different. Your idea is cool. It rocks. Keep going with it. But there's a catch. You live in butt-fuck nowhere. Far from Silicon Valley, with no connections to big shot investors. In the traditional startup scene, you're gonna have a harder time. You probably are gonna give up. But in the crypto world, you've got a fighting chance. And let me explain. Crypto startups have 3 superpowers that traditional startups don't really have. The first, easy fundraising. The second, loyal early customers. And the third, instant global outreach. So let's break down each of them. First up is fundraising, and this is probably the most groundbreaking aspect of crypto startups. With traditional startups, if you're not in the hubs of investing cities like San Francisco, New York, Silicon Valley, you know, same if, but if you're not in those areas, you're gonna have a really hard time growing your company. I mean, I know founders right here in Seattle that are struggling with this very issue. There's a lack of capital here, so they're having to outsource to places like San Francisco and New York, because that's where the capital is, and you need that to keep your company growing. If you're a crypto startup, you can basically raise money from anybody, anywhere in the world, and that's so cool. Having that access to capital is so cool, and this democratization of fundraising is just gonna exponentially rally, I feel like, more entrepreneurs to start building globally, which really gets me pumped. So imagine like a brilliant entrepreneur in an underdeveloped economy. This person now has the ability to go out there and create something world-changing. But it's not just about accessibility to capital for these crypto startups to grow. It's also about more innovative fundraising models. What I mean by that, and we're getting deep right now, so I'm gonna try and go by this fast, but more innovative fundraising models means rather than issuing equity to investors, you can issue your own token on your ecosystem. So they have utility on your ecosystem that you're building within the blockchain. Yada, yada, yada. We can get into that another time, but basically this is just another use case. Rather than issuing out equity, you can have them use tokens for your blockchain. This wasn't possible before, but we got through that. Now let's talk about number 2, early customer acquisition. This is something that all startup founders go through, but with a crypto startup, it can become a lot more easier. Normally, this is referred to as a cold start problem. And it's a major hurdle for startups, especially with those with a lack of marketplace or an ecosystem for them to grow. And Ak and I have talked on the podcast before and asked guests about different types of growth strategies, and we've talked about this where you try and build a community to get early customers and have them remain loyal. Some go-to examples are the Reddit founders creating a fake site to post fake listings, and also Airbnb posting listings on Craigslist to get users to use Airbnb. Some creative growth strategies like that founders have to grapple with all the time in those early stages. Crypto startups offer a unique solution to this problem. And again, I'm going to tackle tokens and trying to explain it to you guys. But basically, they can offer tokens out to these new customers. Just like we were talking about with investors, we're offering the tokens to the customers. What does that do? These tokens that are offered to early customers make them basically a stakeholder in the company. So they are invested into the success of this crypto startup all the way through. It gives them a type of ownership. It gives them a feeling of belonging, gives them the feeling of the community that they're helping build up this startup and to watch it succeed. So not only by rewarding the early customers with tokens, not only are you turning them into early adopters, but you're also kind of turning them into a motivated sales force to whatever, talk to their friends, bring them on, start using the application or service, whatever is being created. It's just, now you got this loyal community that you're not even paying for. They're not even on a salary. It's dope. The third and final advantage is global expansion. Now for traditional startups, going global is hard, but I just wanted to throw this in there because you now have the capability to go global with crypto a lot easier, and it could tap into a different customer demographic that normally you wouldn't have access to if you're a traditional startup. And it might make things easier, but let me explain. When a traditional startup expands globally, it's complicated. You have to deal with all these different currencies, different time zones, and it's time consuming and expensive. Crypto startups, on the other hand, they're global from day one. They use a universal currency that's the same everywhere in the world, and there's no having to deal with local currencies, exchange rates. They can just go for it like that. So this dramatically reduces the friction that normally comes along with expanding globally. Also, like I said before, it lets them tap into customers all around the world, providing them with more access to users, tapping into different target demographics that may be liking their product or service more than those in domestic territories that they're working with. And they also just have more access to liquidity now. This can lead to much faster network effects and just how they grow in general. Now, it's important to note that with all these cool advantages, there's a bunch of problems right now around this space in developing and building crypto startups. The biggest challenge is no doubt the legal uncertainty. This regulatory landscape for crypto is still evolving and changing all the time, and it doesn't make it easier that the regulatory landscapes differ from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, country to country, state to state. Doesn't make things easy. To help mitigate this problem, this specific problem, out of the other legal problems going on out there in the crypto space, there's something called a Crypto Rating Council that's emerged. And what even are they? Consortium of crypto companies provides guidance on how likely a particular token is to be classified as a security. All right, well, probably not a perfect solution, but at least we got an organization going that's looking to mitigate the issues here, so we'll see. Another challenge in this space is the technical complexity of creating and divvying out these tokens. It's not as simple as issuing stock. There's a lot that goes into it. You need to design the token, create the token, design smart contracts, manage the token distributions. Anyways, no entrepreneur is going to want to go through all this legal jargon, so this just creates another barrier into the opportunities here that we need to figure out. And then lastly, there's still a perception around the crypto space that can't go unnoticed. With the ICO, initial coin offering, the ICO boom that happened in 2017 and 2018, also with the FTX collapse, there's just a lot of skepticism in the space. Even though during the ICO boom, a lot of these crypto startup companies raised millions, but no product was ever seen. And then obviously with the bad business practices, the fall of FTX, it's just nobody's really looking to invest or build in the space, which is a serious problem too. Despite these challenges, I've found some really cool crypto startups starting to emerge, similar to the one I actually worked with as an intern way back in the day for the Techstars Filecoin Accelerator. But this is a company called Audius. And Audius is a decentralized music streaming platform. Audius is building a blockchain to create a music streaming platform where musicians are paid fairly. No more record labels taking cuts, no more music streaming platforms giving them cents for thousands of streams. Musicians get paid fairly at Audius. Power to the people. So here's how it works. Audius has its own cryptocurrency called Audio, all caps. Users earn these tokens by listening to ads or curating playlists. Artists get tokens based on their popularity. It's like turning all these likes and shares into actual cash for the artists. But then again, the big question is, can this model compete with the industry standards and the giants like Spotify and Apple Music? I personally think hell yeah. And honestly, I say that, and I really mean it. I think it will happen, but it's a race against time right now for crypto startups to start reshaping how all of the business ecosystems function. But here's the thing, it's not just about what Audius is building or what any of these other crypto startups are building. It's about a fundamental shift in the way that businesses operate. Need to stand up for this one. Right on. Crypto startups are rewriting the economic playbook, and I'm so excited because that means anybody, literally anybody, no matter your degree, no matter where you come from, you can be a part of this. So here's my challenge to everybody. Open up your mind to the possibilities that are about to happen in our lifetime. Seriously, I mean it. If you're an entrepreneur, open your mind to these new possibilities with what you're building. If you're an investor and looking for that next big idea, start narrowing in and look here. And if you're just curious about the future, start looking up some more crypto stuff and start believing in it, because it's going to happen. The future of the internet is being built with crypto startups, and my main thing is that you can be a part of it. No matter who you are, you can be a part of it. Just, you got to put your mind to it and do some digging and do some your own research about this, just like me. That's why, that's why I wanted to film this solo podcast and try it out, because I'm so excited about this, and I love and give all my support to any entrepreneur, but especially those that are building in Web3, because I think this is the future, and I'm super excited to see where we are in a year, 5 years, 10 years. Oh man, it's going to be incredible. So appreciate you guys watching me just talk and yap. This is the first one, but I'm going to be trying doing more. Ock's going to do some too. But thank you guys so much for watching if you made it here. And yeah, keep innovating, keep being curious, and keep building. And I'll catch you next time.